Alright, so this is now my second time filming this. The first time the lighting just wasn't good, so hopefully it's fine for this one. And it's gonna be a classic good old get ready with me. I'm gonna be sharing with you my everyday, well, not my everyday, because I'm not wearing makeup every day, but like my recent go-to makeup look that I've been loving with my darker hair. And then I'm gonna show you my new curling technique that I've been using for my hair. I haven't been using too much heat, but when I do style it, this is what I do. So grab a snack, grab your coffee. I'd love to get ready with you guys. If you're getting ready for something, let me know what that is in the comments down below. And I think that's it. Let's get started. I'm gonna clip my hair up. Normally I just put it into a ponytail, but I'm trying to be better with that because I've been noticing a little bit of breakage and that's not what I want. So I'm gonna just do one of these little clippy things here. I love this pack from Amazon because they're actually big enough to hold all of my hair. I have quite a few colors here. They've been really nice. I quite enjoy them. I also did a tan last night. I did the Loving Tan Express 2-hour, I slept in it, in dark, and I feel like myself again. It feels so good, and it's beautiful out. It's like spring weather, so that reminds me, I need to wear sunscreen. So I've been using the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen SPF 40, and this goes on like a primer, and it's so lovely. I always hated wearing sunscreen, and I never did it as frequently as I should have because it was just such a hassle, and it always left a white cast. But this is so great because it leaves none of that. It's like a silicone-y texture, and it's like clear. It's so, so great. So I just apply this. I've obviously done all of my skincare prep prior, which is just cleansing, vitamin C serum, moisturizer, and eye cream. I highly recommend this product if you guys are looking for a good sunscreen going into spring and summer. I cannot recommend this one enough, and I've noticed no breakouts from it either, which is always something that I'm concerned about when it comes to sunscreen, just because I feel like some sunscreens have broken me out in the past, so I'm kind of scared of them. This is not like that, and I do actually have a tinted version. I don't have that one because I always find that tinted things are a little bit orangey on me. Maybe in the summer I'll try it, but for now, this one is good enough. All right, so I'm very excited about my base because I did this a couple makeup times ago and I really like the way it turned out. So I've been mixing the Bobbi Brown face base. This is just a vitamin enriched moisturizer essentially, and I love a good extra moisturizer. I got the smaller size from Sephora to test it out. I've used quite a bit of it, so I take a scoop, maybe a little less than that, put that in my hand. I shouldn't have done this one first because the cap on this. This is the Auric Glow Lust in Selenite, and it's a beautiful, yeah, this was a dumb thing. Okay, I'm gonna put that front back. Open this one and pump like 1.5-ish pumps of that. Mix that with the face base and then just apply that all over my face as I would a regular moisturizer. And I think if you're doing like a no makeup look for, so it's been about 30 minutes and my camera was like completely glitching out and just like was not usable. It was changing focus. It was just not a good time, and so I decided to switch onto my vlog camera. So I apologize for the change in lighting, angle, and just everything. It's gonna look different now, but I'm determined to get this video done, so we're gonna continue on. Now that I have my base on, I'm gonna go in with a corrector concealer, RIP Becca. This is my favorite. It's their under eye brightening corrector. I like it because it's really peachy tone and it just cancels out the dark circles a little bit and it blends in really nicely. Wear this on my no makeup days as well, and I did buy a backup of it. Oh, that's the thing I was gonna mention. So if you're not able to get your hands on the Auric Glow Lust, which I do recommend when it comes back in stock, definitely try it out. It comes in a bunch of different shades, which is really nice. I also recommend the L'Oreal Glotion. This is from their True Match Lumi line. This is a really great product, although this one pulls a little bit more rose gold. And then one of my favorite products to use in the summer is the Marc Jacobs Do You Dewdrops. They're like coconut dewdrops and they're so beautiful, but this is more of like a true gold. So I have a bunch of different shades of this that kind of all work the same in that they can be mixed in with product, used as a highlighter, used alone with other things. You get the point. I'm hoping this foundation will be okay. This is the Too Faced Born This Way. This is the regular formula. I do like the matte one, but this one is good too. And this is in the shade Vanilla. We'll see if that matches. This foundation, the matte version of this foundation, and the NARS Longwear Radiant I think that's what this one's called. These have been my like ride or die foundations for so long. I love them so very much. I need to repurchase the NARS one when the Sephora sale comes around because my shade that I use most often is getting quite low. I personally like this foundation with the super glowy base because I find that it covers nicely, but it still shows the shine and the glow from underneath. Moving on to concealer, I recently repurchased my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Sand. I love this stuff. It's so good. So I repurchased. Now to set everything, I've been using the Laura Mercier powder. This stuff lasts so freaking long. Like I've been using this probably for about a year now and it just never dies. It's pretty crazy. I quite like it. Since I want this to be quite a glowy look though, I'm only going in lightly in my T-zone and around my mouth because I'm a little sweaty, as per usual. Let's do brows next. So I've been experimenting. I kind of switch up my brow products quite often, but the brow micro filling pen from Benefit has been great. I didn't change my shade when I went with darker hair. I still use the shade light brown and I really like it because it has the 3 prongs, makes it really easy. I'll also be using this later on to create faux freckles, but this is just a really nice product to be able to create like very natural looking hair-like strokes. Already looks so much better. It does get a little bit trickier when it comes to the second half of your brow though. Also, my pen wasn't stored upside down, which it normally is, and I regret not doing that. I just had it in my drawer. Definitely works better if you keep it upside down. And then to fluff up my brows, you guys already know I love the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. I really like it because it has a like shorter bristle on the top, a longer bristle, and then it's actually quite a flat paddle. So you can use the long side to really comb them up. You can also do it with the shorter side, get them as fluffy as you want, and then you can take the paddle side and just kind of like press them up to do a little bit more of a lamination. Like, the difference. That's crazy. It works so well. And it holds really nicely too. That looks great. Wow. Let's see if I can match it. Probably won't. Yeah, I like that. That turned out better than it normally does, so that's great. There are a few sparse areas, so I'm gonna go in with a little brow pencil and just kind of quickly fill those in a little bit. Perfect. That looks really good. Look at how fluffy that is. Wow. Okay, for bronzer, this is a new product I've been using. This is the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder in Bronze number 3. Very beautiful. I like it because it's quite light. It's a lighter shade of bronzer versus like Hoola and stuff, which it actually might be too light for my tan today. I don't think so though. That looks pretty nice. And on my lazy makeup days, I feel like I don't really have lazy makeup days anymore. If that makes sense. Like I'm either doing a full face or I'm wearing nothing at all. There's really no in between at the moment, especially with mask wearing, because I feel like, I don't know, there's just no point. Also too, there has definitely been days where I either remove my makeup from my nose down or I only do makeup from here up. Let me know if you've done that because I feel like you're saving half your product. It just makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I love the way this bronzer looks. It's like glowy and natural, and it goes really well with the base and the foundation too. So pretty. Okay, for blush, I've really been into this blush. This is again from Laura Mercier. This is in the shade Chai, and it is so, so beautiful. I showed this in a recent vlog and showed you guys me actually wearing it, but I just think it's such a nice color. And I've been trying really hard to focus my blush like a lot higher on my face to create just, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just looks better when it's higher up. And I also like to wear a lot of blush. So we might be here for a while. And I like to go over my nose. I find that it gives like a really nice like sun-kissed glow. Also too reminiscent of a little bit of a sunburn, but like not really, you know what I mean? Just looks like you were out getting some color. Moving on to eyeshadow now. I haven't been doing a whole lot. I do really like my Tarte lip palettes. I have both of them. And they're both great for different things. I'm just taking the shade Jet Setter now. Just kind of running a dark-ish color in the crease. Whenever I do eyeshadow though, I always add some to my lower lash line. In this palette, I'm using the shade Rebel, which is kind of like a brick color. Has a little bit of a red undertone. Next, I'm going to go in with this shade here. It's just a nice matte neutral shade and just run that with a flat shader over my lid. Kind of just brightens it up a little bit. And then to deepen up the crease and the outer corner, I'm going to go back in with the Jet Setter and just kind of focus this on the outer half. I'm going to layer a little bit of Rebel, the color we used on the lower lash line, just to deepen it up just ever so slightly. Moving on to my inner corner highlight and my brow bone, I've been using the Charlotte Tilbury Dreamgasm eyeshadow palette, and this is the first shade. I really like it, as you can tell. I've hit pan on it. It's beautiful. It's a perfect inner corner highlight shade. A little bit gold, a little bit pink, and a lot of bit pretty. Moving on to eyeliner now, I have been really loving this one from L'Oreal. This is the Flash Cat Eye by Infallible. It's amazing because it's a very, very, very fine tip. It's very black and it stays on really nicely. So that's the one I've been using most often, if I'm not lying. And I recently received the Bite Beauty one. This is the Upswing Extreme Longwear Liquid Eyeliner. And this is good if you're looking for a bit more of a bold liner, because it is one of these like little brush potted ones. It's a really nice brush, but I personally every day opt for the other one. This would be more so if I'm looking for something for stage, or yeah, just like I said, if I want something a little bit bigger, but if I'm trying to get like a nice thin line. So I first create the line on the upper lash line, and now I'm gonna go in and do my wing. Sometimes if I want my wing to be a little bit longer and like sharper, I'll just take one of my fingernails and like sharpen it up. I don't know, it seems to work for me. But this one turned out perfect, so we're not going to touch it. And then for a bit of a different look that I've been trying out lately, I'm actually going to take the liner from my inner corner and bring that up ever so slightly. That's why I choose a very thin liner to do this. So the second eye did not go as well as the first, but I have these Q-tips on hand for this exact reason. It has like a point on one side and then a regular Q-tip on the other, which is really nice for cleaning up the lines. As you guys saw, I did do my fingernail trick and it helped quite a bit, but I think I'm gonna have to just shorten it a little bit. Don't want to mess with it too much. I think that's okay. I am gonna go in and kind of make the tops of the eyes a little bit more symmetrical if I can. Liner is now done and I think they look pretty good. Pretty symmetrical. Now I'm going to move on to mascara, and I've absolutely been loving mascara lately. I feel like so many brands have come out with really bomb mascaras, and I've had a lot of favorites recently, which I feel like doesn't really happen. So I wanted to quickly run through them depending on your price point or what you're looking for. I have tried the Maybelline Sky High. This one is obviously so popular right now because it's from the drugstore and it went viral on TikTok, and I really like this. My only complaint with this is it's a little bit difficult to get off, so I really have to pick and choose when I want to use it. I do really like the brush on this one. It's quite nice and grabs the lashes. If you're looking for length, this is a really, really great option. This mascara from Bite Beauty is their Upswing Full Volume Mascara, and it does just that. It gives you a lot of volume, and this brush is a lot fatter, which I feel like a lot of people are more used to recently with like Better Than Sex, and I can't think of any of the others. Oh, the Last Sensational Falsies or whatever from Maybelline. I feel like that's a pretty similar brush. It's a really great mascara, and it's a really good one for layering. Sometimes I'll go in with this one, and then I'll go in with the Lancome Lash Idole. I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. And I really like this as my second mascara. For some reason, I always need to use more than one. And so I'll go in with this one to really separate the lashes. You guys will see what I mean. But it's a really, really great mascara for that. And I really like the angle of the brush of this one. The mascara I was using prior to go in as my second mascara is the Benefit Roller Lash. This is a really good one. Very similar with like a little bit of a curved brush. So both are really great. And yeah, so these are my second mascaras. Those are my first, but also the one that has recently rocked my world and come into my collection is the They're Real Magnet from Benefit. And this is the one I've been reaching for the most recently. So this will be my first mascara and this will be my second. That's a long chat. As always, going in with my lash curler. This is from Lise Watier. You can get it at Shoppers. It's my absolute favorite lash curler. I just can't get enough. This is my favorite. I've repurchased it time and time again because I simply will not use anything else, and it's just so good. Sometimes I like to hold it in between my legs to warm it up. That's just my trick. I don't keep a blow dryer here, and it works really well. So give those a curl. I don't know if I showed you guys the brush of this one yet. There it is. And this is also, I feel like most of the other mascaras are a little bit more of a wetter formula. This one is a little bit on the drier side, which really works for my lashes apparently. So here we have one eye basically done. I think that was probably about 2-ish coats on the top and then 1 coat on the bottom. I personally really like this mascara because I find it to be really, really buildable. The more layers you add, the more voluminous they get, the more separated, the longer. It's just like a really good layering mascara, like I said before, but it just gets better the more you use. I mean, there is a point in which you should not use too much, but I feel like you can do quite a few coats of this one. I got a comment on TikTok when I did my first impressions of the Maybelline mascara saying that I need to use my opposite hand to do my opposite eye, and I'm just like so curious if any of you guys actually do that, because I cannot use my left hand for like anything basically. I feel like I would completely mess up everything else I did on my eye, so I always use my right hand and just like go in. I sometimes flip, still use my right hand and flip and do it, but I could not just like sit there and do this eye with this hand and then this eye with this hand. And I was just like so confused. And I was like, I can't do that. I feel like I don't see other people doing that. So anyway, let me know. Are you special out there? Do you know how to do mascara with both your hands? So there's the Benefit They're Real Magnet Mascara. Now I'm gonna go in with the long comb one and you'll see what I mean by the separation. I find that it just really gets the lashes and opens them up and just makes them a little bit more curled, and it just, I don't know, it's worth it for me to do the extra step with the extra mascara to get my lashes to look like this. My lashes also have a tendency to stick straight out this way, so I'm gonna let them dry and then I'll go back in and curl them ever so gently to really lift them. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go in and make some faux freckles with my brow micro filling pen. I pretty much use any brow product you have on hand. A pen like this is really nice because it just makes the process a little bit easier. I've also used the Ka-Brow from Benefit. This is the baby one, but it's just like a pomade, I think that's the proper term. Anyway, you take this, you flip it around, and then you can use this as the brush, kind of dip it in, warm it up on your hand, and then kind of just like press it around and then tap it out. But ever since getting the brow micro filling pen, I found that this is a little bit easier to use. And I haven't tried any of the Freck products. I can't justify spending so much for such a little product, so this is what I've been using instead. And since it has the 3 prongs, I feel like you can do like a little bit of a grouping of freckles, which is kind of nice and natural. And then I also take it on its like longest end and use that. And it just kind of creates nice little spots. And then if I find that the spot is a little too dark, I just tap it with my finger and blend it out. I go around my nose and just kind of up my cheeks, because this is where I naturally get freckles in the summertime, or when my face sees the sun, which hasn't been for a while, although it is really nice today out. It feels like spring, like proper spring. With this brow product in particular, I also find the freckles last a lot longer. They're not like super faded by the end of the day. They're still like kind of visible, which is great. And obviously it depends like what you're doing during the day, but I find that the longevity of these ones are really nice. I love adding freckles to my makeup looks in the spring and summer. I think it's so cute, and I just honestly wish that my freckles lasted all year round and not just the summer. I think that's good. I feel like that's a nice natural amount. For my lips, I recently picked up the MAC Strip Down Lip Liner, and I'm so glad I did. I've been wanting this lip liner for so long, and most of my lip liners have kind of like a pinkish undertone, and I find that now with my brunette hair, I definitely like a more brownish tone, and that's exactly what this is. It's very nice. And when filling out my lips, I kind of overline them, but I also make sure to connect and kind of round out my Cupid's bow. I don't know why, but it makes my lips, I think, look better. Personal preference, obviously, but yeah, I kind of just like connect them and then kind of round it out a little bit and then try and fill in the sides to kind of match everything. And so much of the time, I'm really just wearing lip liner and lip gloss, obviously depending if I'm wearing a mask or not. My favorite go-to lip glosses have been the ones from Maybelline. They're lifter glosses. They're so pretty, and I feel like these 3 shades are all you really need, in my personal opinion, other than like maybe a clear gloss if that's your thing. But I have like a more pinky tone, a more orangey tone, and then just a nice neutral. And I think I'm gonna go with the more orangey tone. This is in the shade Amber. It's number 7. And these are just such good glosses. They really are. Oh yeah, that's quite orange. They smell so lovely. And then to set my makeup, I've been using the Professional Super Setter. I really like this because the mist is super, super fine. It's very nice and light, and the scent is really, really lovely. It just feels so good on your skin. Wow. So now that we got makeup done, let's move on to hair. So lately for my hair, I've been using this mint curling iron as per recommended by my hair colorist, Jordy. She recommended this because the barrel's super long, and that's what I was missing in the other hair tools I have. The barrel just wasn't long enough for me to do this curling technique and to hold all of my hair. So this has really been nice. I got it on Amazon. I'll link it down below. And for heat protectant, I love the Eva NYC Made Magic. This is really great. You can apply it to damp or dry hair, and I like this heat protectant because it's like a dry oil. It's not gonna like wet your hair before you curl it, because I just hate that. And I'm all about the heat protection lately. Also adds a nice bit of shine, which is always nice. Now I'm gonna clip up half my hair, and we'll focus on the bottom half. Alrighty, for curling, I take a section yay big, and I go back and forth. If you want the curl to be outward, you want the clamp kind of in front, so I put that there, slide it down, curl it up, hold for a few seconds, kind of let it go a little bit further in, unravel, unravel again, and then let go. And it creates a curl such as this. This is quite ringlety, but trust me, it'll look good once we brush them out. And then, like I said, if you want the curl to go the opposite way, clamp goes at the back, curl it up, hold it. And when you're holding the clamp like this, it creates a like longer curl, whereas if you want a more voluminous curl, I suggest holding the barrel like sideways, if that makes sense. I always try and keep the ends of my hair out to keep them straighter. And then these front pieces are a little bit more delicate, so I don't hold them as long. I find that this is a really fast curling technique too, which is nice. So when I do want to just like get my hair done so it's done, it doesn't take too long. All right, bottom half is done. Moving on to the top half. And then I always take the section that is not curled and kind of just like separate it from the actual curled bits, and then put the curled stuff in the back. For the front pieces, I make sure to get the clamp in front, making sure that the curl is going outward. Everything is curled, but this is not the final look. I'm gonna go in with a couple products. I'm gonna first use a dry shampoo. This one is from Matrix. It's their Miracle Extender Dry Shampoo. I've really been liking it. The scent's really nice, and I'm going to put that in my roots to add some volume. I've found now that my hair is brunette and I'm like using all of these super moisturizing products, I find that my hair is really shiny and healthy looking, but it feels a little bit heavier. It's not as like voluminous, if that makes sense. And that's just kind of always been one of my problems because my hair is so heavy. So adding in a dry shampoo really just like adds a little bit of volume to the top. Alrighty, the top half is looking so much better. Bottom half, not quite there yet. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the Miracle Creator Miss Mess Dry Finishing Spray, again from Matrix. They're kind of like a little duo, so I thought I'd use them together. Both smell good, like I said, and I just put this in the ends. Of course, if your hair has a hard time holding curls, you can add hairspray. I personally just prefer a dry texture spray because I find that it holds everything a little bit better for my hair. And now that the products are in, I'm gonna take my fingers and kind of comb everything out. And this is where you'll see if you curled everything the same way or if you did enough of each side. And of course you can go back in and curl more pieces if you want like more definition here. I always find obviously that a lot of the focus is on the ends with this kind of curl method, and then sometimes I will go in and hydrate the ends with an oil, like a proper oil, but I also really like this OGX Argan Oil of Morocco Dry Oil Shine Mist. I find that this is a nice alternative if you don't want something super heavy on your ends. And again, it smells so good. That has been my go-to hair as of late, just big voluminous curls. Obviously I took big sections, so my curls are a little bit bigger. If you wanted more of like a beachy wave, I'd just do smaller sections and make sure you're alternating what side or what direction you have the curls going. That is what I've been doing for my hair and makeup recently. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this very OG style YouTube video, and for all of my brunette people out there watching, hopefully this was fun for you, because this was my first time doing a get ready with me or like a makeup hair video on my brunette hair, and I had a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this from me in the future, give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you lovely people in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.